Welcome to another Gleaner video podcast. Our guest today is the former Archbishop of Kingston, the Most Reverend Lawrence Burke, and he'll be sharing with us his perspectives on ministry while he was serving as Archbishop of Kingston, and what he hopes to do as he goes off into retirement. Archbishop Burke, welcome to the studios of the GO-JAMAICA network.
Thank you, Mark.
We want to ask you, first of all, how did you find your time as Archbishop of Kingston? Did you enjoy your time?
I enjoyed it tremendously, and I wish it were longer,
Mm-hmm.
because in the short time I was here, which was actually less than 4 years since my installation and my retirement, there are so many challenges that Jamaica poses and so many possibilities that I regret that I didn't have more time in my native country in this leadership role, which was so very interesting. When I came to Jamaica 4 years ago, I found that, first of all, a lot of good things were happening. We have a tremendous and talented group of lay people,
mm-hmm.
and also a good group of priests, local and missionary priests who are working with us. A lot of good things were happening, but I also found that there was a lack of organization and a lack of a process of how to go forward. So one of the challenges I had was to try to bring a little bit more organization to the Archdiocese of Kingston.
Do you believe you are leaving the Archdiocese better than you found it?
Well, certainly in some areas they were better, I think so. I mean, for example, I think my big priority was to strengthen our Catholic schools and to bring back more of a Catholic ethos and presence to the schools, because I believe that education is not a quick fix, but it is a long-term solution to many of the problems that we face in Jamaica, especially the problems of the values and attitudes. What do we bring to our communities and to the whole area of criminal activity and corruption and violence? And I think education is a key, and I regret that, you know, since our independence, since 1962, we have not been able to bring quality education to our people, because the lack of education keeps people dependent upon those in power. And good education frees people up. It gives them choices to make in life. And I just think it's regrettable the quality of education we have passed on to our people since 1962. And I find that in this present system, we are preparing children to pass exams, but I don't think we're really educating them. And we need to educate them and to motivate them, and not only teach them, you know, the fundamentals that we need to make a living, but we also need this value education now to live together, you know, in understanding and mutual harmony and peace.
So how would you define educating persons? It involves values.
Absolutely, absolutely, and formation. It's not just information,
mm-hmm.
but it is also formation.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that these institutions that we call our schools, especially our Catholic schools, are a tremendous asset to us, and this is why we're trying to reclaim them.
Mm-hmm.
So that one of the things I've done was that we re-established an education secretariat for the church, which is the liaison between the church and the different boards that run our schools. It is a way in which they can be accountable to us, but that we can also be supportive to them. And this secretariat is also a way in which we have someone there who would be the executive officer. When we have a meeting of our Archdiocesan Education Board, which sets policies and so forth for our schools. At the end of that meeting, if you don't have a secretariat and someone who can carry out the policies and make sure that those are executed, then the meeting, you know, is in vain. So this is one of the things we've done. And the other thing we've done is we've set up a very strong scholarship program to get more of our Catholics into teaching, and secondly, to get our Catholic teachers who would have a greater sense of ownership of our Catholic institutions like our schools, to get them prepared to exercise leadership in our schools, to get them qualified at the University of the West Indies or other places where they can take up the leadership, because I believe the quality of our schools depends upon the personnel that teaches in our school and the entire faculty, but secondly, the leadership of the principals and vice principals in our schools.
Archbishop, with the benefit of hindsight, what would you do differently if you were just now becoming Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Kingston?
Well, let me say that what I would do now is build upon what we're starting to do, because I still believe there's a lot of work to be done to fix education. And, you know, we cannot be happy with the kind of young people that are leaving our secondary institutions. And, you know, it's sad to say that the cream of the crop that would be going into tertiary education, we now find it necessary to run programs for them in English, in writing, and so forth. And this is, I think this itself is a condemnation of what we have failed to achieve in education. Now, this is not to say that we haven't achieved something in education, but I think we have to go back to the drawing board, and we need to reinforce and spend a lot more money in the area of education, because I think this is crucial for the life of our country.
If you were to offer some advice to your successor, what would that advice be?
Well, as I said, I think my successor is on the same wavelength as far as education is concerned. I think we also need to address more than I did in my time, the whole area of family life. During my time, we actually employed someone, again, full-time in family life ministry, again, as someone who can carry out the decisions and policies that the Family Life Commission have agreed to. Before, the Family Life Commission itself had to carry out those, but now we have a Family Life Office that is, well, we always had a Family Life Office, but it wasn't sufficiently staffed, and not with people who sufficiently were prepared to do this kind of work. So, you know, we have been doing a lot of counseling in family life, and a lot of those counselors are also been involved in doing counseling in schools. One of the problems has always been, however, that we have not publicized some of these programs sufficiently, so that the counselors are not being used as efficiently and as often as they should be in programs that they're prepared to help out in.